some young broke dude.
My gym's treadmill simulates your run inside Skyrim.
Are you totally sure it's your gym? Cause it's the exact same picture posted 1 year ago by another user. Same exact title as well. Also, looking at your post history, it seems that you're just trying to post spam for karma. Turtle was rescued after being abandoned for 7 days at sea with no food or water. Look at the tears when it has its first meal.
That's a tortoise. They can't swim and the tears are just orange juice.
I went to a date with my puppy and my little nephew. This place is really nice. I really liked it. However, the staff is racist. Let me tell you why. When I walked in with my puppy and my nephew, nobody said hi or anything. They didn't treat me right. They were not polite or anything. They ignored me just because I'm Spanish. So my advice to you, if you are Spanish, don't go there. They are very racist. Don't waste your money on this place.
Hi there. I was working on the dog side when you came in today. I am really sorry that you had a less than ideal time. Your nephew was running and jumping around the cafe and touching and hugging dogs without asking their owners. Not all dogs like kids, and it was really dangerous for your nephew to be acting that way. I asked both of you several times for him to stop jumping around and laying on the floor, and you didn't do anything to stop him. Human and dog safety is our top priority, and I was simply trying to make sure he didn't do anything to put himself in danger. Thank you for understanding.
Rude service. Food was kinda gross and greasy. I would give it a miss. There are some better restaurants around. You don't need to be treated like that. Screw these guys.
Watch the recording of your experience. Here's the transcript. Joe, do you need a key for the bathroom or is someone in there? Me, yes, you have to make a purchase because the key is locked in the drawer. Joe, I don't plan on making a purchase. Me, well, I'm sorry. Joe, I don't think I'll ever make a purchase here. Me, okay, thank you. Other customers as Joe left the restaurant. Haha, he was rude. Sorry, Joe, we are not a public restroom. It's for customers only. So while you never actually tried any of our greasy and gross food, feel free to go to any of the other amazing restaurants in the area. They'll expect you to make a purchase as well, unless you go to Starbucks. There's one around the corner.
Business is all about customer service. This business needs to try and its employees of matters first. One employee parked in my parking space and didn't even consider apologizing for his action. The employee started to use foul language and started to make threats toward me. I was scared and worried for my life. I have also called the business and tried to ask help to reach the driver, but the employee and the call center were unwilling to help.
Our technician has a video of you being very uncooperative and non-responsive when our technician asked if you could move your vehicle and stop blocking our tech in the driveway, which is considered illegal. The video shows you making no effort to move with a blank stare and shows you making a verbal threat that a tow truck is coming. This was completely unnecessary as our tech stated you immediately went to block him in as you pulled into the underground parking, not giving our tech a fair chance to move or leave, which is against the law. We are not always informed of best parking when it comes to major complexes, and we do apologize.
Myth! Chiropractic doctors do not have as much schooling as medical doctors. False! A degree in chiropractic requires 2,887 hours, while a medical doctor requires 2,756 hours. Dr. Bree.
Doctors require roughly 14,000 hours for their degree. If they want to be board certified in a special field, it takes between 30,000 and 40,000. Advice: how do we fight this cancer? A sex predator and a liar? I had a conversation yesterday with an 8-year-old boy. I asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he answered, a sex predator and a liar. Of course I was shocked and asked he explained. Well, old grandpa, he said, it seems every successful man is a sex predator and liar. Look at our business leaders, priests, sports doctors, coaches, entertainers, church leaders, educators, opera stars, even U.S. presidents. I think being a sex predator and liar is the road to success. I didn't know how to answer, so how do we fight this cancer? This never happened. For real though, yes, the current state of society isn't great, but no 8-year-old said any of that.
This is my grandmother who died in 1999 in Russia. Found this photo.
I seen this picture 2 years ago on Cursed Images. Please stop using your imaginary dead grandma to farm internet points.
She's everyone's grandma.
Follow my friend on Instagram.
Your friend has the same username on Insta as you do on Reddit?
Oh God.
Sarah's weight loss discovery is the reason why I finally gained my confidence back in life. Naomi, 34.
This is so fake, and you should be ashamed to advertise on a food account fake weight loss.
Why don't you just stick with your food post and stop trying to make money and wasting my time? Another account that I'm going to stop following. This place was awesome, so courteous and delightful with my 2-year-old son. I was there waiting on a friend who was getting her hair done. Meanwhile, one of the female beauticians repeatedly came over due to my son being on their acrylic bench in the waiting area. He was not misbehaving, he was right there at him, but she felt the need to chastise him and remove their pillows from the bench also. She made us feel very unwelcome, and I'm glad that I did not spend money here for services as I had originally intended. Very rude. I would not recommend this place. We do apologize, but we actually have a policy for children. We don't allow children unless they are actually being serviced, but it's for their safety and the comfort of our other guests. The stylist is actually the owner as well. He was standing in the chair. That is a tremendous hazard. We do apologize for your experience.
My parents' fridge has had a piece of construction paper held in place by magnets for something like 20 years. In fading Sharpie marker it reads #DLTIW. It stands for Don't Let the Idiots Win. It's our family mantra. It's why I fight and why I never stop.
Your parents were using hashtags in 1999? Prescient.
I actually saw one of these in action on my second tour in 1969. We had cornered a number of VC and they disappeared into a tunnel complex. We heard the boat coming up the river about the same time they saw some folks coming out of a tunnel near the river. I will never forget seeing that stream of fire drop directly into the tunnel entrance. The cries of those inside the tunnels are still one of the most horrific things I've ever heard.
Okay, so let's just look at your post history because I don't know, man. You're at least 67, assuming your birthday hasn't happened this year. You said you moved out at 17. I'm assuming you signed up at 18 and volunteered into the American Army. You also served in Afghanistan in 03, apparently, which means you served at the age of 52, which is possible as higher command considering you spent 22 years in the French Legion. You also say you played BFD competitively, and I don't know, man, no one over 50 does. So you want to give us some proof or just delete that comment? Edit. You also said it was your second tour, so that must mean you're a year older than I originally stated. Bro.
How come when a house is haunted, it's always a ghost from the 1700s? Like imagine a ghost from 2007 screaming, "It's Britney, bitch!" at 3 a.m.
Sorry, my dude, this is literally word for word.
Disgusting fingernails left in the pizza, and the food arrives cold and had to bin it all. Tried to ask for my money back and they buttoned me and blanked my calls. Wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Horrible food and out-of-date food. Everyone please do not order from here. It is disgusting, overpriced, and out-of-date food.
Clearly you are not saying the truth. Fingernails that don't fall out of the fingers. You requested a refund when the food was already on the way to you, and that we can't do after we cook the food without understandable reason. Racism is people making fun or attacking your race. Genetics. It's not special or any worse because of this. People just claim it is so they can make out they are a victim of something terrible.
Tell that to the people hung and torched by KKK members, victims of terrorist attacks against specific races, the victims of the Holocaust killed because they weren't the right race. Tell that to the disabled white kid who was kidnapped and assaulted live on Facebook by black teens, literally for being white. Tell that to the man who literally got fucking sworded to death by a white supremacist for no other reason than he was black. Tell that to literally anyone who has experienced actual discrimination. Did you even think before you typed that?
Aw, my husky could understand everything I ever said. Once he was stolen, he escaped and found his way home from over 20 miles away through the San Fernando Valley, back home to Topanga.
That's a crowded route. I'm glad he came back.
How do you know where he came from after stolen? Weak made-up story.
Maybe he was covered in stickers from all the places he passed through on his way home.
Went into the store last week and watched the kid working sell a pipe to a kid barely over 13. Told him he should be ashamed of himself, and he replied with, "Mind your own business." Disgusting and unprofessional behavior. Total lack of morals. Never will I shop there again. Should be a 0-star rating. No need for me to leave Ingersoll now for my 420 supplies anyway.
Total lack of morals is stealing inventory from your former employer and actually putting it on your shelves and trying to sell it like you're trying to do right now, Ryan, then having the audacity to make fake posts.
I was really lucky. I usually work at the World Trade Center, but that week I was in Hawaii for a trip.
I kinda doubt that, bud. By what you posted within the last 11 days, you seem like you were in middle school.
I'm caught.
Food stone cold. Poor response from the owner. Lucky for us, Just Eat refunded the worst meal ever.
Dear Carl, thank you for your feedback. Unfortunately, I can't agree with your points. The driver stood outside your building for 15 minutes because you put the wrong flat number, called you countless times for you to answer your phone after the 8th call, answering it saying that if the food was cold, you would send it back to the restaurant, which you did. However, and as mentioned to you over the phone, since you placed the order with Just Eat, they were the best ones to deal with the situation. But you could not stop yourself raging at our members of staff when the whole situation happened because of your initial mistake. If the flat number was right, the food would have been delivered to you 5 minutes before the delivered time. So next time, before you go and leave such a bad review for a small business, driving customers away from it, just put into thinking that there is a lot of effort from everyone involved so the food can be cooked and delivered to you. Thank you.
How long have you been a meth user? There's a post of yours dated a month back or so stating only J's for me, and more of your history is honestly not lining up. Like the fact that you didn't know what keef in the bottom chamber of a grinder was about a month plus ago. If you did get clean, good for you, but people who abuse the concept of getting clean, something that is insurmountable for those with addictions, for upvotes, are terrible. It is a huge accomplishment. To mimic it for internet likes is diminishing and offensive on so many levels, and in a word, disgusting.
Recovered meth addict here. Look at original poster's fingers. Those are not the fingers of someone addicted to meth. Those are little bitch fingers that look like they belong to a young teenager. Go look at any tweaker's fingers for a comparison. This is nothing but lies and bullshit. Go suck your mom's cock, OP, and stop spinning shit on the internet trying to impress strangers for fake points. You seriously suck.
Who made this animated Storm King thing? Something that took more than 5 seconds to make? Well done.
Well, it probably took 10 considering that's a screenshot from Google Images.
I was excited to see this old house fixed up. We went and it was a good experience until we met the owner, Matt. He is a huge sleaze and made me really uncomfortable and said some inappropriate things to me and my family. The food and atmosphere were good, but I just can't in good conscience go back and support Matt.
We're sorry to hear about this experience. It's also hard to believe. We have no record from video or our point of sale system that you patronized our restaurant. Not sure why anyone would want to leave a fake review.
I was excited to see this old house fixed up. We went and it was a good experience until we met the owner, Matt. He is a huge sleaze and made me really uncomfortable and said some inappropriate things to me and my family. The food and atmosphere were good, but I just can't in good conscience go back and support Matt.
This is yet another fake review. This is word-for-word duplicate of another reviewer. Coincidence? So strange that we have no record of you in our restaurant and yet you leave a bad review. We're proud of what we've built and our fantastic team and stand behind them.
Tried to go there at 5 a.m. before work since they open at 5 a.m. I waited outside till 5:15 a.m. Still wasn't open. Ended up going to Shipley's down the street.
Hi, it says you visited 20 weeks ago. We haven't been open that long.
Since my previous review disappeared, I will repost it. Horrible dining experience. We had a 6:30 reservation and waited almost an hour for promised table. Then another party stole our table and the manager would not make them leave. Things got so tense that there was almost a fight. Crave never apologized or offered a complimentary drink or dessert. They call themselves fine dining because you spend $100 a head, but they overbook knowing that everyone has to wait and they turned our experience into a nightmare.
I honestly feel bad for you that you have nothing better to do than go back a year and still trashing my restaurant. I remember your party. You all came in drunk and loud. You were not dressed to our standards and then got into a fight with other guests. Because you waited 15 minutes for your table, you were the most obnoxious one in the group. Spend your time going online in the future to find out how to get a life.
I'm extraordinarily tall, 7'1", but somehow I didn't end up with the same giantism problems. I didn't have a pituitary problem or anything like that. I just have a really tall family. My dad is 7'5" and my mom is 6'11". Both my brothers are over 7 feet tall themselves. What's weird is that the majority of my grandparents were all super short. My dad's parents were both under 5'5", and my mom's mom is actually a dwarf, 4'4". Thank God my mom's dad had tall genes, 7'8", to offset the short genes.
This is total bullshit. Your comment history entirely contradicts this and is full of other lies, not to mention the scientific and genetic inaccuracies within this single comment, or the fact that this would be a record-setting family and be very famous just on the basis of the absurd height. Worked really hard on this. Hope you guys enjoy.
A simple reverse image search will reveal you stole this from Tumblr. But let's not talk about this is the first thing that comes up when you search John Seed fan art. How about you don't steal someone else's art and pass it off as your own?
Just unsubbed from r/QuitYourBullshit. Post got deleted, but I called out someone for pretending to be a fully transitioned trans woman, when she didn't even know how transition works. I asked her how long she'd been on estrogen, which is what you need to transition, and she said she didn't know what I was talking about. And apparently I'm the asshole because it's perfectly okay to not only catfish me, but pretend to be transgender.
Your post got deleted because the only thing you posted was an accusatory exchange between yourself and the catfish without actually posting the evidence where she claimed to be a fully transitioned person.
Never received item, and the owner will only refund me my money if I leave her a 5-star review. Nice try, sweetie. Maybe you should work on your customer service. Insane customer who is sadly lying through her teeth. Item shipped, tracked, and delivered to the address she provided me. She opened a case and Etsy closed it instantly because it was clearly delivered. Read my feedback. I have a 5-star rating on over 5,000 sales with excellent customer service. I've been in business on Etsy for 9 years, and it hurts when people expect me to do unreasonable things and then lash out with negative feedback in response to not getting their way. Please know that I will always communicate and work with you to make sure you are happy so long as it is within reason. This case takes the cake on childish and bizarre. Not sorry I didn't let you rip me off. Why would I want to rip somebody off for a $5.99 order? Ha!
I received a red light violation ticket in Newark, and when I called Ticket Crushers, I was told by the guy that their win rate on these type of cases is over 90%, especially after I told him that I was wearing sunglasses, so I should have a solid defense to fight against this red light camera ticket. Just received an update from Ticket Crushers, which they told me they were only able to get my ticket reduced to no point, no school, which means I don't need to go through traffic school, but I still need to pay the full fine amount. This is not the outcome that I had in mind at all. I was expecting for the ticket to be dismissed in the best case scenario, and in worst case, I was expecting for the fine to be lowered, given judges usually lower the fine if you go to trial. However, the fine amount didn't even get lowered by $1, so I basically paid Ticket Crushers for nothing. Update. Please see how petty Adam's response to my review is. Not professional at all. Please save your money and go elsewhere. If there was clear evidence of me running the red light, then tell me there's no case. Don't convince me to spend $200 on you just so you can help me avoid traffic school.
So Kevin came to us with a clear video of him running a red light. At the time, his only option was to pay the citation, pay an additional traffic school administrative fee, pay for traffic school, and attend the traffic school in order to avoid a point. Instead, our lawyer was able to avoid Kevin going to court 3 separate times, avoid the traffic school administrative fee, avoid Kevin paying for traffic school, and avoid Kevin going to traffic school for 4 to 8 hours. Most importantly, the lawyer avoided the point that would have increased Kevin's insurance rates for at least 3 years. That's right, what should be a 5-star review is a 1-star review because Kevin thought wearing sunglasses was enough of a disguise. Might I suggest a fake mustache next time?